Today we are going to have the preparing to make the bacon sausage macaroni cheese. Here's we have the something in ingredients is here. I putting in the description is here the recipe the macaroni. First thing here is I started as the spices with a white pepper and also have the black pepper, and we got oregano, and then also a refill of salt, had a good taste, and I have the batch of the boiled macaroni, which is pronounced as like my favorite macaroni pasta. It cooks in as a 6 minute to put it this way, and we had a meat. It had chicken sausage. Buy get one. I was just bought them from my family so that I brought to this sausage, and I was just cutting into everything, and then I have to be put like a bacon meat as a meat right here as I owned as a product, and one of us unsalted butter, and I have to fresh milk. That's a blend magic, and this one here is the all-purpose flour, and I had to, and then it meant to be that I added to the water so the mixture with flour as a waters of flour, and here's we had to boil it up to the pinch of salt a little bit here, then the oil, and I will turn this heat on, and I wait till the boiled water so to fill it up, and we gotta have to macaroni, so I'm preparing to the mixture with the bacon sausage macaroni cheese. So I'm in the heat, and I wait till the few a minute, and here we have to. I was cutting in the sausage, bacon, and unsalted butter, all of them together, so the preparing, and this was had making the sauce. So I've been just turn on to the heat on the pan, and it kind of bit to the oil as it surrounded a bit, and I'll be have to take two. One takes unsalted butter, and I put the pans on it, and I have to proceed melted the butter, and as well as the process for the cooking. After a few seconds, the butters are completely melt and fill over the oil. So perhaps it even takes a medium heat, and kind of a bit this takes to a few second. So I will stir this around with the butter, or having to mixture this into it. And I'll use the pan on it, melting them together. There. Now I add some the sausage and bacon, and fry them up at the preheat as a meat. So perhaps the bacon sausage, as all of it has a greases from the oil that's the to have it extracted the butters, and makes it popping out from the greases of the bacon as during the heat for the processing just onto the bacon sausage. Afterwards, I have to feel the take it cooks about the seconds and a minute. So I try to fry it onto a sausage and the bacon is in here, and I have it. So I was certain to have him fry with sausage and bacon, just take a while. And then I have to take to the pass with milk. Pass with the milk and have extracted with the butter. All of it sticking them together. And after finished with the fried sausage and the bacon. Adding the fresh milk, or even you can use this barely to whipping cream as your own does with the fresh milk. So then I was pouring on this a fresh milk. I was taking on it, mixture it as butter milks up, has a stir them up like that. Likely as I had to, as a warm milk, as a hot milk, all I have is mix it together with a butter milks. So to take this as a heat to the processing had to take a while. When the hot the milk is bubbling to fill up and the forms of milk's a cloud of on it. And I have to take and I had managed to be it takes to be with flour waters, and this is pronounced as correctly. And I managed to use with water and flour mixtures as a cross and half and it takes a pour on it. So we had to take it a few minutes and the water says to fill boiling up, and then I added to a macaroni pasta as I pulled it on it. Pulls on there at halfway in the macaroni. I'll take it as later with the macaroni, and till I have this Monday night's dinners are later with a pasta. So then the macaroni boils up, and here we have this hot milk filled with the boil oven's bubbling it up, and the heat of processing. So it was filled have the big things to heat, and the smooth and the creamy and the taste buds. And as you can see, we had bubbling to the heating is up when I was doing the process. And here we have it with a flour water. As I pronounce it, said water, the flour. Is a flour that attracting with them water. And the amount they have to pour it in. So that's why I have the mixer just by hands. As mix it with the hands of a flour. So I pour it on to water flour. And I have to mix roughly to with them amount of the butter mixed in the process. So it was just developed with white sauce. That's what the pronouncer would say. And I've been created the white sauces since before with help my families. And since when I was a teenager, I was cooked up with my cookers. I was like I learned to with a macaroni cheese, mac and cheese stuff. Then oven it takes a while from the white sauce as it heats, processing till it's bubbling itself up. So take the spice with a refill the salt as a tasting, like that. Add some of the white pepper powder, just a little bit. Add some of the black pepper powder, as roughly a little bit here. Later on it. And then finally is oregano. Oregano to support the white sauce. And there goes a bubbling hot milk up as well white sauce. I want to pronounce it say about the white sauce. So now I would mix it with the spice and it together. I would mix it up. Mix it roughly. Everything says everything else. You can you can use it with a white sauce with a pasta whilst have your pasta preparations preparing the pasta when you have it ready with a spaghetti meat sauce and creating with white sauce, or even use the white cheese sauce instead, as have to use cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese. And finally, had to take in ingredients, add shattered mozzarella cheese. And it's kind of frozen, but I've been cutting is shaping up with the cheesy here. And so perhaps my family is balked with shattering the mozzarella cheese. And I like the mozzarella cheese from my option, but I've been put a lot with pasta, pizza, and everything. Everything else is having to put the pastas and the macaroni cheese, lasagna, and the pizza, all of it together. So I have to mix it with the cheese until the cheese have them melted, and it has to develop with the white cheese sauce. And it's take a bit a while, and it take a cheese getting hotter and it melted and it's soon developed with a cheese sauce. Once you have it in check with a boiling water, and the macaroni pasta is now soft. So I went to do with a tested with spoon of water amount of a wooden spoon, and here is with a boiled macaroni is ready to soft. And I have this put a water weight in the tray, and I take it the boiled macaronis, keeping it cool, has to keep it the other side. And look at that. Has a good this soft macaroni taste buds. So now the cheese is now melted, and I have to mix this cheese sauce in the process. Meat, sausage, bacon is now fried, and cheese sauce is now being ready. Afterward, I was finished the process, and I take the boiled macaroni cools down on your side, and pour on a cheese sauce. As I pour onto as literally to the cheese sauce into the boiled macaroni. Smelling this cheese sauce as it tastes looking good. Tastes looking good to the mozzarella cheese mixture. As everything else. So literally the cheese sauce remaining, and I have to clean this with paint. Then mix it with the cheese. And cheese together with the macaroni, boiled macaroni and cheese sauce. Even more of it is a mixture to mix it together with the macaroni cheese. And you can actually smell with the macaroni cheese, as it sounds taste buds with a delicious look macaroni cheese. Finish the mixture and ready to serve. Serving with 20 people or even 50 people, just sharing the food with your friends, with your family, or even with your relative, or simply like a customer. And I also support the food marketing with a macaroni cheese. I put it up to the market for later some other time. After finishing my process and mix it, and here we have this bacon sausage macaroni cheese. It's now ready. But now it's time to the ready to eat at home and the ready to the sharing with a family, friends, relative, and others of people with the customers. Look at that. That's a very tasty buzz. It's called Bacon Sausage Macaroni Cheese. Enjoy.